it's Jenny here with another video for you guys. Today's video is actually my get to know me video log. I'm gonna be doing like also a slash color along. This is the book that I decided to choose is Any Day by Morgan O'Brien, and this is basically the standard edition. But this video is going to be based on get to know me. I ended up getting a total of about 20 questions from you guys, and I really appreciate it so much. So I'm very excited to answer all of these questions for you guys. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you guys do, don't forget to subscribe down below, turn on that notification bell so you guys when I upload, and also go ahead and give me a thumbs up because it does help out my channel. So without further ado, let's get right into this video for you guys. And like I said, I hope that you guys get entertained and you guys can also color along this page if you guys haven't done it. And I will be putting the hashtag that you guys can share your pages with me if you guys did color along with me. But yeah, I'm excited for this video, so let's get right into this video. So this is the page that I decided to start off with you guys. So if you guys want to go ahead, like I said, go ahead and do a color along with me, and go ahead and get your page ready and just color with me and listen to all these questions that I got asked. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this video. It is super early in the morning, so my throat is like, it's just bothering me right now. So if by any chance my voice starts going away, you guys can't understand what's going on. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with this video. I am super excited. I'm gonna go ahead and start picking my first marker here. I'm using the Hoo water-based markers. I am so low on my Hoo alcohol markers, so it's a very low chance for me to even grab from those. I got my Kelly art markers next to me. I got my glitters next to me. I got everything pretty much next on this side with me, and my questions are in this side. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions. There might be questions that I'll probably take a little bit longer to answer. Some of them are just going to be a little bit quicker for myself to answer. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. It says, when did you start coloring? I started coloring in 2022 around February, close to pretty much March. It was like halfway through February. That's when I started coloring. And it's crazy how time flies because we're already in 2024. Question number 2 is, when is my birthday? My birthday is on September 29. We are in July. There's just 2 more months to go. And I'm pretty excited, not because of my age, but just because it's my birthday, and I'm trying to see if I can come up with something for you guys on that month. I still haven't gotten a clue of what I want to do that for my birthday, but we'll find out sooner or later if I get an idea by then. But it is September 29. Question number 3, it says, at what age you had your 2 children? I have 2 kids, and my oldest, her name is Gianna. I had her when I was 23. And my son, I had him when his name is Lemuel. His first name is actually Louis, but we just call him Lemuel. And I had him when I was 28 years old. Would that be my last child? Technically, maybe, yeah. Because how the world is right now is just scary to keep bringing kids, even though you raise your kids and you take care of them. But I feel like it's more responsibility on a parent, because how everything is now not like back in the days. You were able to say, I could leave my door open and nothing will happen at the moment or anything like that. Nowadays you can't really do that. Sorry, see, my voice is just acting up. Nowadays, you can't really do that. So it's really hard to say I want to bring another child to this world and raise my child and do what I got to do for my child. But yeah, it's hard with how things are just, flying by and stuff like that. It worries a lot of parents that do take care of their kids and want the best for their kids, knowing so many stuff is changing. Let me go ahead and pick another color here. I don't think I want to go with the same color for the inside of the thing, so let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so it says question number 4, how long have you been coloring? Well, if we're counting YouTube, it's been 2 years for YouTube, but I was coloring almost half a year before I even started my YouTube channel, because I didn't dare myself at the moment to start a YouTube channel. I just wanted to do something just for fun. I didn't want to like involve myself in a position. What if I didn't want to continue to color, or what if I, it doesn't last me that long for me to color and stuff like that. So because I had that in mind, I didn't really made the decision to start my YouTube channel. But it's been 2.5 years pretty much of me coloring regular coloring books and Disney Color by Number books. Okay, so question number 5 is, what was the first coloring book you owned as an adult? I was laughing because I'm going to be sharing with you guys the page, my first time I had colored. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, you know what? I'm going to wait. Let me just answer this question real quickly. My first book as an adult, I owned Girl Power by Christopher Hart. I was sitting one time in the couch and I was so bored that day, and I was telling my husband, I feel so bored, like I want to do something. And he goes, don't you like coloring or something? And I was like, that's for kids. And he looks at me, he's like, okay. And then he didn't say nothing to me. And then he was like, just to entertain yourself, like find something to do, go to Barnes and Noble, keep buying more books. Because I used to, before I started coloring, I was reading books, and which I'm still am. He was like, why don't you just go and buy yourself some more stuff? And I was like, okay. So I went out and I was just looking through to see if I could do something different besides reading book. And I ended up finding this coloring book, and I was like, I'm just going to take this one home. And I took it home, brought it home, and then I started coloring. And that was, I'm going to show you guys now my first page. So for you guys that, not for, whoever thinks that they can't color, or whoever is in a position where they're like, you know what, I'm not going to color because I color this way, or I don't know how to color, or yeah, this is my page. So let me go ahead and show you guys my first page and when I started. And this lasted a very long time. I'm telling you, the way that I had color on this page has been, it's just a dangerous situation for anybody's eyes, because that's when I first started coloring. And look how bad that page looks. Like, look at her skin and everything else, how bad. But it didn't stop me from not coloring. I laughed about it. I was like, you know what, it's my first page, and it's not gonna stop here, because I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna continue. So that's my first page, guys. I did horrible. It's just a pain in the butt when I first started, but guess what, I have come a long way and I have learned so much. So that is my first page with my first book, Girl Power, Christopher Hart. I did a lot of pages on that book. I do not have that book anymore. So if you guys hear this beeping, there's this car that every time they turn it on, it just starts beeping out of nowhere. So I do apologize for that. So yeah, if you guys feel like you guys can't color, don't think like that, because that's how I started, and I have come a long way. There's people out there that know how to color, and they're teaching people. They do video logs where you can just color along and just follow their steps and what they're doing. And I think that that's the best way to go. Just keep learning from your mistakes. That's the only way you can learn, when you do mistakes. It's the best way to learn anything in this lifestyle. Just learn from your mistakes. Do the mistake, it's fine. Did it happen? It happened. Did I do a mistake? Yep, it happened. Guess what? You learned from it and you move on. That's pretty much it. But that is my first page, so I hope that you guys did enjoy that, that page of mine. That I do have a good amount of pages that look that bad, but it didn't stop me. It's been 2 years. I have learned so much. I'm still learning how to do shading, and I'm not as good, but I did get better of how to use the markers, or what to do with the markers and stuff like that. So moving on to the next question. We're in question number 6, and it's a favorite color medium. So my number one brand that I literally use is my Ahuhu water-based markers. Anything that has to do with Ahuhu, either they're the alcohol markers, they're the water-based, the glitter, anything that has to do with that brand, that's my number one to go to, because I just love how it works. I love how these markers work. I love how the alcohol markers work. They do take their time to dry up. So say you stop for like a second, and I'm talking about the alcohol ones. These are a water base. So if you stop for a second with the alcohol ones, it's just, you have enough time to go back and continue without, making any striking, like any lines on there. For the water-based markers, you can't really technically do anything about it. They just dry up pretty quickly. But I do like how those markers work, and those are my number one brand for regular coloring books, only for regular coloring books. When it comes to color by number, Disney books that I use that you can't really use alcohol markers, I either use my water-based markers, or I use my acrylic Tule art markers, which are my number one for my Disney color by number. So those are the best, besides the Stabilos and stuff like that. There are other markers. Don't go based on what I use, or don't think that, because I use them, then you have to use them, or anything like that. Or you think that those are the only choices that you have, whatever you see other people using, because everybody has their own preferences. And sometimes I might not be able to know how to use a certain medium, but you will know how to use that certain medium. So just always test different things out. I have tried so many markers out there, and I have tried so many brands out there so far since I started, and I finally found the one that I like, which is the Ahuhu one. If the Ahuhu one weren't around, it will be pretty much the Cali art markers. The Cali art markers are also very, very good for using. I actually have a pack right next to me based on the pastel sets. I actually want to get the whole set, but as of right now, I haven't gotten the chance to do so. But they're really good as well. So not only the Ahuhu, but they also have the Cali art markers, and so on. So many amazing markers out there. You just have to test them all and go based on whatever is best for you to use. The next question is, do your kids ever color with you? So yes, my kids do color with me, and not all the time though. Not all the time. I have them based on a timer. Let me just decide. They have tablets, and I have them on a timer for certain apps, and also for their screen time. And then they also have basically a certain amount of usage on their PS4, especially for summer. Because when they're in school, obviously the half of the day they don't really use their stuff. They're allowed to use their stuff after school, so they don't really have much time to use it in the afternoon, because they do go to sleep early. But for summertime, whenever they don't have any of those options and we're still up and they need something to do, they actually go and get their, I'm going to show you guys a picture of what I bought them last year for Christmas, and they use that for whenever they have nothing else to do, technically. So they sit down with me with that. They open it up and they ask me for a page. They do have their own coloring books. When I had detached books from my collection, this year my daughter took about 7 for her, and then my son took about 3. So what they do, they come up to me, they let me know the page they want to work on. I take it out from the book and I put them on their stand for that thing that they have that I have bought them. And then they color the page. They either paint it or they just use their markers and stuff like that. And they like it. They, every time when they're done, they pick all their stuff back up. They put everything in their place. And then they will tell me, hey, Mom, I finished my page. And then they throw it away. Because they say that they don't color like me. And they don't want me to show it. So my daughter did save one that she did, and she actually came up on my video one time and she explained what she did on her video, on her page, sorry. And yes, she still has it saved, and it is in one of my videos as well for you guys if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, one of my completed videos. But yes, she does save some of them, and some of them she'd be like, oh no, Mom, I don't want you to show this one, and I'm not ready, I'm still learning, and yada yada and stuff. But yeah, they do color with me, and I love when they color with me. It's very entertaining, and I like all the questions they make me. And they're always like, hey Mom, how do I do this? And hey Mom, and I feel good about it, because I'm like, now I can actually tell them, hey, don't do this, because that's the mistake I did in that one picture I showed you guys. So yeah, they do. It's a good time to spend time with them as well. The next question I have here for you guys is, well, not for you guys, but that was asked, is question number 8. Who is your current favorite illustrator? There's so many. My main best illustrator is Camila and Jacoba. One reason, because they're very simple, they're adorable, and they're cute, and she has a good amount of different variety that you can pick from. So many different types that you can work with. I'm telling you, if you just buy her books and go based off of her, it will take you a while to color in on her books, because she brings 50 in each one of them. So if you buy 10 and count 50 pages, that's a lot of pages for you to count within, for you to color within a year. And it will take time to color in those pages too. They don't take a lot of times for me, probably like 30 minutes top, depending what I'm going to do to the page. And they're super fun, they're very basic, and they're all different. They're always got something different going on. They're different themes, every book has their own theme. And yeah, I think they're adorable and cute. But can I pick a second one? It would be my Disney books, colored by number, because I love those Disney books, colored by number. I did not know about the Disney books when I first started coloring. I ended up knowing months afterwards. Say I started in February my YouTube channel in 2022, and then I jumped over a couple months before I even found out about the Disney books. So the first Disney books that I had bought was the baby ones, and I stayed with that one for a few months before I even started buying another one. So because to me it was like I was getting them by Amazon, and they're pretty expensive for my pocket for me to be getting them through Amazon. So I only got one, and then by the time I got the princess one, which was the second one that I ended up getting, I just said to myself that I was only going to get the ones that were cheaper for my pocket at the moment, and maybe just save for me to get the rest of the coloring books. But someone had sent me a message. I had said it in one of my YouTube channels that I want to get more and whatever, but I was struggling, and someone had told me where to get them by lyrica.com. And when I found out that you can get them by lyrica.com, cheaper and free shipping in the United States, I said, you know what, I'm done. My wallet is screaming. My husband was like, holy crap, how many books do you need? And I was like, I need the whole collection of the Disney books. Like, there's a good coloring book sets out there that I want to collect from illustrators that I don't mind having the entire collection, but Disney is one of them. And I finally, to say in the beginning of the year, I finally, by February, I finished collecting my entire Disney books completely. So I'm super excited about that. I'm very, very happy about that because I thought I was going to take forever. But I finally got all my Disney books, and I don't regret it. I do not regret it. One day I had my sister-in-law's husband. They were both in my house, and I know she watches my videos, so she he decided to count my Disney books, and then he asked me how much they were, and it was just like we were cracking up about it. And then he started counting. He was like, holy crap, look how much this is in total. And he looks at my husband and he's like, that's a lot of money. And we started laughing. I was like, yeah, but you can't really tell that much money because you don't buy them back to back. Like, I will buy one per month or two per month every 2 weeks, like that, because I wanted the entire collection. So it was just hilarious just that happened. And yeah, it was funny. But the third one, I know that I only asked, the question was based on one, but I wrote three. And the third one is Sherry Baldy. I really, really like her books because they're simple and they're just cute. I really like the ones that she creates. Her pages really big, like her art on there, and they're big with thick lines. Those are the best ones that I like. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. And let me go ahead and turn this over. It says, favorite snack. My favorite snack is Totito chips with the cheese dipping, the medium cheese dipping that is kind of spicy. That's what I love. Totitos, is it? I can't even pronounce it. The Totitos bags with the dipping cheese. I love that snack. Every time my husband be like, hey, we should do a snack day, our nighttime snack day. And I was like, okay. So usually when I know it's like that, I go and I buy everybody's favorite snacks, and I buy them their favorite drinks, and I bring a whole bunch of candy and stuff like that. And when I come home, I throw everything on the table, and everybody gets to choose their stuff. And then when the nighttime comes, we're either watching a movie or we're just playing a game all together as a family, and we're just eating and making a mess, for the mother to clean, because basically that's how it always happens. But yeah, that's pretty much what we do. And that's the only snack that I always get. My kids are always like, especially my daughter, she'll be like, that again, you couldn't get something different like me. I always get something different. And I look at her like, girl, bye. This is my favorite one. So I don't be telling her, which one you should be eating. You pick your own. She's like, Mom, I love you, Mom. I just love you. I love to bother you. But yeah, that is my favorite snack, and I will never change it for the world. That's just my number one my number one brand. Okay, so moving on to the next question is a favorite book reading. Geez, there's a few out there. So I'll give you guys my first one, which is Binding 13. I know I told one of the girls about this, and I'm hoping that hopefully when she does get the chance to read it, I think she will like it. I don't know, everybody has different tastes, but I'm hoping that she will like it because I love Binding 13, and which one is that? Keeping 13. It is a lot that happens in that story, but it does give you both sides as the male and the female version of their lifestyle, and it's stuff that can happen in real life, and when I first read that book, it broke me in so many ways with what happened in that story. I'm not gonna give any spoilers or anything like that, but it is a good book, but it does have a lot of roller coasters, and like based on emotions. It has a lot of roller coasters on there. I don't know if that makes sense when I said that, but like you feel a lot of emotions reading that book. It is a thick book, like, but it's not hard to read. It's one of those easy reads. But it's a very, very good book. I am on the second set. Like the first two books are based on a couple, and the second and the third and the fourth book, which I'm currently reading the third one, which is I have it right next to me, Redeeming Six. That's based on the brother and the couple, like his girlfriend, and how everything started. So I'm not even halfway through that book, so can't really say how I feel about it right now. I actually give it about 200 to 250 when I can actually start judging if I like it or not, or if I'm going to continue the book or not and stuff like that. But I heard it's really good. I did hear a lot of complaining about the fifth book, but I'm not there yet, so we'll see what happens. But that's one of my favorite one. I also love reading Mariana Zapata books. Her books are slow burn, so if you get yourself into Mariana books, they're not books that you can be like get to the plot real quickly, get to the situation real quickly, they get together or they don't, or whatever it is. You're not gonna see that until probably after halfway or maybe a little bit more, close to almost the end. It is a slow burn, but I really, really like her books. Her books are amazing, and I just finally collected her entire book sets because I want to read them from when she first started her first book and then to where she is currently. Just thought that would be fun for me to read. But yeah, her books are pretty much awesome. Also, Colleen Hoover books, that was my number one when I first started reading books. Those were the first book that I ended up buying with Christina Lauren books, but I haven't read any more by Christina Lauren, and she does good, amazing books as well, like her stories and stuff like that, and they're really easy read. I just haven't gotten any more from her. But I did get almost all of Colleen Hoover books, and I had read all her books like 2 years ago, almost three, and they're really good. So if you guys want to have like easy reads and stuff like that, Colleen Hoover, Christina Lauren is also amazing. They're just very simple, based on young adult. A lot of their books are young adult with Christina Lauren. But yeah, just they're very, very easy to read and very easy to understand. Like, I'm talking about the ones I have read, not maybe new ones or other ones that came out that I haven't read. So I'm just gonna go based on whatever I have. So if there's something that is wrong that people read and they're like, nope, Jenny, it's not really this, I do apologize, but I'm not really that far. Like, I'm always switching up authors because I like to read different types of books, not just stick to one author or just one, like if it has more than one book, I like to switch it around once in a while. So I'm not that far. I used to have about 300 books. I got rid of a good amount, and I only have a full bookshelf pretty much, plus my dresser. I have a whole bunch of books on there, and it's probably like about 3 stacks on there as well that I haven't had the chance to organize because they're just books that I haven't read, and I'm getting through them now that I've been reading lately. Every night I read. In the mornings I color, and then I work my way throughout the day. Once I'm tired of coloring, I feel overwhelmed, let it go and leave it on my table, and then I go read books, or I play video games, cozy reading games. And yeah, moving on to the next one. Oh, I also have Lisa Jewell. Lisa Jewell is actually very good. She's based on like suspense type of books. So if you guys are interested in those type of books, Lisa Jewell is one of the best ones. She broke me. I read so far 2 of her books, and they literally both broke me, both the books. And I was like, I need to continue reading her books. So yeah, let me go ahead. And question number 11 is, what are your favorite top 10 books? Geez, that was a hard one. I sat on the floor with all my coloring books, and everybody just kept looking at me like, why do you have everything out? So I went through every single one of them, and my favorite top 10 books is Tome 10 from the Disney Color by Number. That is my number one book that I really, really love because it's dark lines, and I just like the book. It's just like it. My second one is Tome 11 from that has the Bambi on the front. I really love that book as well. It brings doubles and the pages are beautiful. The colors that it brings are beautiful. I love that book as well. I had Down by the Farm by Sherry Baldy is one of my favorite books as well. That's number 3. That one has amazing coloring books on there, the coloring pages on there. Number 4 is Little Rascals, Sherry Baldy as well, and I really like that book because it brings a lot of memories. 50 Vacation, which I finished it, I believe was last year or the year before that. That's one of my favorite books, but I had already completed that one. So, but I love the pages out of there. That's just one of my favorite books. I was thinking about getting it again, but I haven't gotten the chance to do so, and I'm still thinking about it if I should. But I also like The Enchanted Gnomes by Coco Wyle is also one of my favorite books. I really love that book. I love the pages. I love how they turned out and stuff like that. My next book is The Chibi Girls by Larissa May. I also love Fairy Houses by Alexandra Francis. Is a color by number book, which I also love. And my last 2 is Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn and Tattoo by Hannah Lynn. Those are my top 10 coloring books that I really love. Hannah Lynn is one of my top illustrators, and Camila Angelkova and Sherry Baldy. So like my top illustrators. I just love their books. And they're always coming out with new ones as well. So, I mean, Sherry Baldy has, I think I tried to count them and they were like 200 and something in total. And I do have a good amount on my Amazon wish list, but there's also, I feel like it's going to take me quite some time to order all of her books. So, and because I do have other illustrators that I want to give them a try, that I don't have their books. I mean, if you guys look at my Amazon wish list, which is in the comment down below for you guys, it's too packed. It's too full. Just imagine. Like, it's so hard for me to say, oh, I'm going to buy more coloring books because I don't know which ones to buy. There's so many. And I'm like, I don't know which one to start with. I don't know. I just want all of them just to check them first and see which one I actually like. What I do is when I buy them, I purchase a good amount and then I check every single one in the inside, because not all of them, they show you the inside on Amazon. So when I get them, I check them in the inside and I want to make sure that it's something that I'm going to be having fun with and stuff. But depending how I see the page, if I don't like them, I just, after I do the video, I sometimes send them back, just because you never know if somebody else will like it, so I would like to share it. But if I don't like it, once I do the video, I just send the coloring book back. But a lot of the time that's very rare for it to happen. So the next question is, what is your favorite animal? My favorite animal is a dog, which is a golden retriever. I'm in love with those dogs. I follow a girl on YouTube channel. She just does like regular video logs based on her lifestyle and stuff like that. So I like watching her videos. She does give a lot of like positive vibes on how to get started on a YouTube channel and stuff like that, or how to keep up with your contact, and she's very helpful. And she has 2 golden retrievers. She has a white one and like a brownish type, and I love just watching. She always has her dogs in her videos. She always does like certain things with them, and I really like those dogs. It's just the way they are. I love them. But that is my favorite animal, a golden retriever. The next question is, do you have other hobbies? We're in question number 13, and it says, do you have other hobbies? Yes, I do. My first hobby, when I decided to start doing stuff that I had stopped working, it was reading books. I do have a good amount, like I said. I have a full bookshelf completely filled up. I also have my where I keep all my clothes and stuff like that on the top. I have a whole bunch of books on there. I also have a website, not a website, but I also have like I use an app which is called Panga Books, and anybody can use that app if you guys are trying to get rid of like a book and you guys don't want it anymore. You guys can use pangabooks.com. Panga Books is actual app. You guys download that, put your information or whatever, create your own account. You can either buy books at a cheaper price, or you can actually sell books that you don't want anymore. So whenever I am done reading a book and for my eyes I'm like, you know what, I'm not interested in rereading this book, so I just put it there. If I don't sell it, I had sold already about 300 books on there. So if I haven't sold one for months, I take them out. And last month, I believe, I gave some to my sister-in-law's husband. He also reads books. So I found somebody that I can actually give my books to and not feel like I'm just stacking up books in my house and not have like an idea of what to do with them. Especially if they're not gonna be like reads for me. So that's one of my hobbies that I like to do. I'm currently reading The Vampire's Diary. I did watch the show already, but I wanted to read the books because they are completely different. Like the show, Elena has a black hair or brownish whatever hair, and in the book she actually has blonde hair. And then her friend is Caroline, and in the book they're enemies. So it's very very different what's happening on the book than what I saw the show. So I was curious to read the book, so I started that one. I'm also currently reading let me see here, Magnolia Parks. That one came out so much on TikTok and on YouTube, people I follow, and I said I want to give it a try and see if it works for me. So I just started reading the first one. I'm not too far, probably like 50-60 pages in, and I haven't gotten the chance to read anymore, but we'll see how it goes. And my second hobby that I really really like to do is coloring books. As you guys already know, I like coloring books all the time, especially when I want to have like fun time or just to color while I'm watching a show. Every morning I've been watching All American and coloring a page, and I feel like that just makes me color more pages because I get so into the show that every time I finish a page I move the book to the side, grab my next book and keep going from there, and it just makes me color a whole bunch of pages throughout the morning technically. The next question, no, not the next question. My third hobby is actually, I like to be crafty with my stuff. I have an Etsy shop where I took a break from, and I'm gonna be starting soon on that as well. But I used to sell like cash envelopes or like shea butter cream and stuff like that. I used to make them and sell them as well. I did a whole bunch of different scented, but now I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to see what I can come up with before school starts, and go from there. But yeah, I have also an Etsy shop. So whenever I do get tired of reading, I jump over to my coloring books. I get tired of that and I jump over to my Etsy stuff. So just to always have something to do, because if you start feeling overwhelmed, just stop what you're doing, let it go, and just move on to the next stuff. That way you don't get tired of it. Sometimes when you push yourself too much to do something, you can get tired, and then eventually in the long run you just push everything to the side and then you waste the money for no reason. You know what I mean? Just take a break from it, let it go, and just leave it where it is. Don't like, oh, I'm not gonna finish this page and I'm not gonna do this, or I'm just gonna throw this book away. No, just let it go. Give your brain some time to breathe. Go out, do something else, read a book, go clean, go I don't know, anything you could do that will make your mind stop stressing at the moment when you were doing something. And not only just coloring, anything. If you start feeling like, oh, I'm not into it or I can't do it, just let it go, walk away from it, and just continue something else, and let your mind loose a little bit. Let it breathe for a little while. That's what I do. I let it go and I get off my table and I just come back to it whenever I feel, oh, I want to color again, I miss coloring and stuff like that. So yeah, just give it time. Give your hobbies time and stuff like that. Don't stay on it. I can't stay on it. Like, I can't be there just doing that, because then I get overwhelmed and tiring and stuff like that. So moving on to my next question is, if you were stranded on an island, this is question 14. If you were stranded on an island, what coloring book and materials would you bring? Parentheses, you can only bring one coloring book and one minimum of 2 different types of medium. Well, my only coloring book, they said I can only take one, so I will take the baby's one. No. Let me start it over. I will take one of the Disney color by number. Why? Because it has 100 pages. And if you're stranded for a long time, you have a good amount of pages to complete during that time that you're stranded and you get rescued, so I will take a Disney book, and it will have to be a detailed one, obviously. And I will be taking my Tule art and my Stabilos, and I can only pick 2, so my Tule art, or all of my acrylics. I'll take my Tule arts and my water-based markers. So yeah, I think that's the best idea, to just take a Disney book, because if you're stranded, you don't know how long you're going to be stranded at an island. You don't know what's going to happen. So just take a Disney book with you, and you're just fascinated. Like, you're going to be coloring all the time. Especially if you take like a very detailed book. Oh yeah, it's the best. Why not? I was actually laughing when I read that question, and I was like, man, that's a very good question. Like, just imagine being in a strand in an island with a coloring book. Hey, I won't be bored. I would not be bored. Get a tan, and in the afternoon just start coloring. Except when the nighttime comes, I'll be scared as heck. Like, nope, not there. We could just skip when it's nighttime. Okay, the next question is question 15. How many completed coloring books do you have all together? In 2022, I completed a total of 5, and in 2023, I also completed a total of 5. So I completed 2, and I said 2. Oh my God, I completed 10, and you have to probably make in that face like, how do you get 5 and 5? The answer to is 10. Okay, 10. I completed 10 total books within the 2 years. I feel like that's not a lot, but in the same time, I don't want to be like rushing myself just to finish a book. I like to have fun while I'm coloring a book, But this year I have not finished anything. So far it only been 10. I'm not sure if this year I'll be able to finish any coloring books. Like some of my book projects, it looks like we're close to being done. So maybe those will be the ones that I'll be including by the end of the year, and say, hey, I finished these books, and stuff like that. So yeah, 10 completed pages. So 10 completed books. Oh geez, so far that I have done. Question number 16 is, what originally got you into this hobby? I was wasting a lot of money on books. I read a lot of books, but I read them pretty quickly, so it doesn't take me that long to read a book. And I was reading within 20 to 25 books per month, and it was getting to the point books were more expensive than getting coloring books. So I stopped myself from buying books while I finished the ones that I had, and I decided to jump over to the coloring books. When I found out about them, I started with one, and then when I got my second book, there goes the car again. Can you guys hear that? Like, how can you drive a car just beeping like that? I mean, if it's your own car and you have to get where you need to get to, I can understand. But yeah, I don't know, that car is mad loud. What was I gonna tell you? Yeah, my That's how I started getting into it. Once I started getting my second coloring book, that's how I started my YouTube channel, with 2 coloring books. And that's how I was showing my pages. I started off doing 10 minutes on them, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, like that, because it was just 2 coloring books. And then after that, I started watching other people, and then I just started buying more coloring books. And they're way cheaper to buy them than buying books. So what I do whenever I am done with a good amount of books and I'm low to like 4 books left to read, what I do, I just then I start buying books and give myself a break from buying coloring books, and I go back and forth with those 2. Question number 17 is, how many coloring books do you own in total? Well, I own a total of 211 books. I feel like it's not a lot compared to like other YouTube people that have been on YouTube for a very long time, and they've been coloring for a very long time. When you hear that they have about 600, 400, I'm like, holy crap. I did have a good amount. I had up to like 300 and something, close to 400, but I did 2 times detached books. I did it last year before December, and then I did in the beginning of this year, around March, I believe it was, and I got rid of a good amount of books. Yeah, it's just that if I don't find it interested anymore, I feel like I don't want to color in that book anymore, or I'm not going to force myself to color in pages that I'm not interested in working in. So that's pretty much what I did. And yeah, some of them, my kids, like I said, they have them. So I have a total of 211 as of right now that are active, that are based on book projects, that are based on pages that I love to just work on. And yeah, those are the only books as of right now that I have, besides the ones that I would love to buy. Question number... Okay, let me go ahead and turn this. Question number 18. Favorite Camila and Jacoba book? My favorite one was the vacation one. Yeah, I love that book. I just love the theme. I love the pages out of there. That is my favorite current book, and even though I did already finish it, it's still my favorite book. Based on the illustrators that I have, there is a good amount of illustrators out there that I have not gotten the chance to give them a chance yet, and it's not because I don't want to, it's just I haven't gotten there. I don't work, and sometimes it's a little hard for me to try to get a whole bunch of stuff, so I just take my time with it, and eventually I'll end up having it. So it's a win-win either way. The next question is, do you like/drink coffee? Question. If so, what is your drink of coffee? Well, when I'm at home, I don't drink coffee. But when I go to my mother-in-law's house, I drink coffee. If she makes the coffee, I'll drink it. But because I like how she does it. So it's just regular black coffee, and then she adds milk. That's how I drink it. And then if my mom makes it as well, I will drink it at her house. If she always makes me coffee, especially in the morning, she'll make me some coffee, and that's the only way that I would drink it. Black coffee, and whatever it is, the type that they use, the brand, I'm not really sure, but I just go based on, hey, you want coffee? Yep. Do you drink coffee at home? Nope. It's just when I go to my mother-in-law's house and my mom's house. That's the only time that I drink coffee. But what brand, I cannot really tell you, because I just go based on whatever they make. And they both make the coffee good, so it's okay for my tummy. It's okay for me. But that's the only time that I drink coffee. I am not unless it's cold coffee, iced coffee, and stuff like that. Yeah, that I will definitely drink. Question number 19 is, no, that was question number 19. So the last question is, do you share your coloring hobby with family and friends? What does that look like? Well, when my family found out that I was coloring, my mom wanted to give it a try, but she says she doesn't have the time to do it, so she doesn't really do it. She likes to watch my videos because she is subscribed to my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go ahead and say hi, mom, hey, just go ahead and say hi, mom. But yeah, she watches my YouTube channel and she likes just watching of what I do. But she doesn't have the time. Like, she still works, and she says that she just doesn't, she won't have the time to get into it or anything like that. She said maybe whenever she does stop working, and she will give it a try. And she says she has a few in her mind that she wants, especially the color by number Disney books. She has a few of them in mind that she would like to start off with, and I might just help her just get like the beginning of like certain supplies that she can use for her Disney books and whatever and stuff like that. For my husband's side of the family, at first they just kept asking me. I know my sister-in-law is watching me right now. Um, at first they kept asking me because they weren't sure exactly what type of coloring books I was coloring. And I remember his mom would, but what kind of coloring books you read and stuff like that. So one day they ended up coming to my house. We were just spending the time together, and that's when they seen all my coloring books. And then I started like sharing, showing them all of my Disney books and my regular coloring books, and they got into it and they started liking the books that I was coloring in. And then right now I believe my mother-in-law has about I think it's 5, if I'm not mistaken, Disney books. And I have my sister-in-law, she has 2 daughters. So one of the oldest, she has about, I think, 3 so far. The next one is, well, she's the little one. I think she has a total of 4, if I'm not mistaken. She can write it down in the comments if once she's finished, if she sees this part. You can write it down in the comment down below. She's actually, her YouTube channel is Magic in Color. She's my sister-in-law, and she's just new in the coloring community. So yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and check her out, go ahead. But she has about 3 or 4. And then her husband had one, but he gave it to her. My father-in-law has one, which is the Looney Tunes, and then that's it. I got all of them to color, and we created a group on WhatsApp, and we have it based on Disney. And every time one of us complete a page, we just send it through there, and we share our pages on there, and we talk about stuff. And whenever they want to buy new books, they actually just, hey Jenny, what you think is the next one that I should get, or which one is best to get, or can you show me the solutions for this one and stuff like that. So because they know I have the entire collection, so they always ask me, or whenever they do come to my house, they just check my books and stuff like that, where I just share it with them. Every time there's a new one that comes out and stuff like that, I always try to make sure that I remember to share it on the on the group chat, because they always see all the pages. So we all share it there. One day we ended up, I believe it was this year, we ended up going to my sister-in-law's house, which is the youngest one, the one that has the YouTube channel Magic in Color. And we went over to her house and we did a competition in coloring in the page. They said I cheated. I technically did not cheat it. Let me tell you why I did not cheat it. Because I didn't pick the page. Okay, so what we did, I used a random generator on my phone, and I put it up to 100 pages, and I put everybody's name down, and then I will just put obviously click on the button, and it will pick on the own page. But for my page, it was a very simple, it wasn't a simple page, it was detailed, but the amount of colors weren't a lot like everybody else's. But that's not my fault, because I told my father-in-law can you want to switch the page? I don't mind changing the page. And he said no, because that's what came out. We can't change it unless it's already colored. And I said okay. So I kept the page, and I finished first. That's not my fault. And they said that I don't count because I've been coloring for a very for a very long time, and they just started. So it's not my fault. Technically, it's not my fault. So I blame it on my father-in-law. But it was such an amazing day that day, and it feels good to see when your family is involved in something that you like. It makes you feel like it matters, and you're just part of the family. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad to see sometimes family are not like before. It's very it's very rare to find family that are close by, they do anything. And even if it's dumb, like maybe some people will think that coloring is dumb, it's just a waste of time. Like my husband doesn't like coloring, but he was still there that day. He just watched movies, and he still sees all my pages. He gives me ideas on my pages. He always tells me, hey, do this or do that. He's technically like an artist. He does his own drawing, and he enjoys coloring. I'm trying to convince him to come up with his own coloring book so I can share it with you guys, but I'm not there yet. He probably not colored in. He probably drew like two pages so far, really good art, and he just hasn't finished because his main hobby is playing PlayStation, not playing PlayStation, but playing PC. That's his main hobby, and he's always playing with the guys and stuff like that. So everybody has their own hobby. And yeah, I like when it comes to the family and we all get together. I'm hoping that one day we can do it again. Maybe, I don't know, sometime this summer we could get to sit outside or something and do like I'm gonna see if I can take pictures and stuff like that of next time that we do get together, and see if we can share with you guys. And maybe not their faces. I will have to ask them first, but I don't think so. They're very like a private type of family, so maybe I don't know. I will ask them and see what happens, and we could do like another day, and I'll show you guys how that looks. And I don't know. I like it. So try to see if you guys can go ahead and get it together. It's fun. It's fun. You guys get to sit there, laugh and laugh at, you know, if you messed up or whatever. You guys get to help each other in the pages and stuff like that. So I'm done with my page here, and I am done with all of my questions on here just on time. And I don't know. This is the first time that I do a video log like this with questions. So if you guys did like this video, you guys can go ahead and comment and put more questions that you guys would like for me to answer on my next video log, and that will help me out. Also do another video log, which I want to continue to do for this book. This is basically like a color along video log, and you guys can color the page. I put the hashtag down below on the comments, so you guys can share your pages as well out of this book and just put it on that hashtag. But yeah, this is how I finished. So let me go ahead and show you guys. I use Cali Art markers, Hoo water-based markers, and I used my Jelly Roll pens here that I really like to use as an outline and stuff like that. I used my white Truly Art acrylic paint, which this one is like giving me trouble with the tip, so I need to switch that around or clean out that tip. But let me go ahead and show you guys my page, how it turned out, and I'll be sharing this on my hashtag as well if you guys are interested. But this is my page, and I really like how she turned out. You see all that glow on there, that shiny part on her dress and the chair. Those are the Jelly Rolls. So once again, these are the Jelly Roll metallic. Here's the tip, and they are different. So they have the metallic. This is not metallic, it just says gold, so the color will be green and gold. This is just like a regular glitter one. Metallic, and metallic. These are all metallic, but I also have more. Let me go ahead and show you guys real quickly. This one is just a regular glitter, and I use those all the time. And I also use the Truly Art metallic colors as well. These are just a bigger tip for bigger sections if I want them for, you know, for the page and stuff like that. But yeah, there's one thing I wanted to tell you guys. I think I just forgot. But if you guys have more questions, don't stop it there. Go ahead and write it in the comments down below. I hope you guys did like this video. It was my first time in a very long time for me to do a video log color along. I did it a long time ago, but it was more based on like a tag question stuff, and I went based on the questions that somebody else gave me, and that's how I did my video log. But for this one, it was more different. I just asked you guys things you guys wanted to know about me, and if you guys still have questions, go ahead and write them in the comments down below. And on my next video log, I'll be able to do my next one, which is going to be based on this book, and I'll answer the questions on there. So I hope that you guys did like this video, and I hope to see you guys on my next video.